Noggin here, and I wanted to share with you another zombie book that I just finished reading, and it is by Elizabeth Massie, and this one is called Desper Hollow. This was roughly around 226 pages, so it wasn't too long of a book. I guess you could call it a novella. But this is, as I mentioned, it is about zombies or a different take on the undead. I really appreciate when authors will do their own thing when it comes to zombies or the undead or different genres that or tropes that are kind of well known. So this one takes place in the Virginia, and this is where I know we're gonna disagree on this, but up north here in New York State we say Appalachian, the Appalachian Mountains. So this takes place in Virginia and the Appalachian Mountains. And I know down south, I know some of y'all say Appalachian. Now, I don't know where the difference in this pronunciation happens, but feel free to let me know down below how you say it. Is it with that hard A or like the other A, like nation? And let me know where you're located at, so I kind of, because I'm wondering how far down the coast, like at what point on the coast does it change the pronunciation of these mountains. We have some mountain folk who are running a moonshine business. They're the Mustards, and they're matriarchal. They've got a Granny Mustard, who is kind of like a witch doctor. She has a spell book, and she's trying to live forever by concocting this moonshine that can help her do that. There's some misadventures along the way. There's a lot of interesting characters. I feel like the Mustard Clan, like, there were some kind of really absurd instances regarding the family. Like, there's a character called Burly Mustard and Janky Mustard, and yeah, it was some really interesting people, and, you know, kind of that crime, you know, moonshine runner kind of element going on. But one of the things I really enjoyed about this was the fact that the undead who were created by this crazy witch doctor lady, they have glowing red eyes, which is something you don't usually typically find in other zombie fiction. And one of them is very special and unique, and I'm not going to say too much more about that. But one of the Mustard Clan, Jenky Mustard, she has in her idea, along with her cousin Bink, they get the idea they want to reach out to a reality TV show because they're like, you know, we have zombies, which they call hollows, which I thought was another original thing. And she explains why she calls them hollows, because there's no one inside and all they do is eat because they have to fill that void. I found that to be really cool. I thought that was a great explanation for that. There is for trigger warnings, I'm going to say there is the threat of rape in one of the scenes near the end of the book. So if that's something that bothers you, you can kind of skip that scene. It's where the one character goes looking up and the Mustard Clan's like main distilling place. That'll give you enough warning where you can avoid that scene if you want. It doesn't happen, but there's the threat of it. And so yeah, we have some people who fly over from the West Coast to investigate this. One thing happens after another, and I'm not going to spoil it. I thought this was a really good read. It was interesting. It wasn't a 5-star read for me just because it has a supernatural kind of religious element that happens near the end. I'm not a religious person, and I thought it just felt like it didn't fit in with the story. This one religious kind of supernatural element that did happen. It felt kind of out of place. And I looked at it and I was like, oh, that's kind of weird, but I get it. I mean, it helps flesh out the ending of the story, but I felt like it was just kind of didn't really fit there for me, and I didn't like it. It was okay, but I did enjoy the story. I gave it a 4 out of 5-star rating on Goodreads. Like I said, it was a quick read. If you're looking for something that takes place in the Appalachian Mountains, you want to hear about mountain folk, moonshine running and all that, with the undead, it was a great read in that aspect. Yeah, Desper Hollow by Elizabeth Massie. This is the first time I've ever read anything by this author. I had heard an interview with her or about her on one of the other horror podcasts. It was one of the smaller ones. To be honest with you, I can't even recall the name of the podcast that I heard it on, and I heard her talk about this book, and I was like, that sounds interesting, so I added it to my to be read book. I'm going to have to check out her other book. I think she has another book called Hellgate or something like that. But yeah, I found her to be an interesting writer. Like I said, I really enjoyed this one. Of course, as always, for you folks in the US, I will have a link to Amazon down below if you want to check it out for yourselves. I'm also going to throw out my Ko-fi link if you don't mind help support my channel. Another way, if you can't afford to donate to my Ko-fi link, a way you can support my channel is you can share this video, you can like it, tell your friends about it, or you can also hit that subscriber button and that notification bell so you know when I upload again. This has been Dan. This has been Desper Hollow, a different zombie book. Like I said, it's worth a read. Go ahead and check it out. Till next time, stay healthy and be good to each other.